Hi everyone, my name is Calvin. I am one of the career advisors at George Brown, so hopefully we get to meet each other at another point. I just wanted to put my camera on for a second so you know I'm a real human being that is talking. For streaming, I'm going to turn the camera off. You also are locked out of chat right now, but near the end we'll open it up for questions. So give me 1 second there, I'm just going to pop that off and get started. All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. Really appreciate you taking the time. I know that there's about 170 different virtual that you're able to walk into. I hope I'm coming here with purpose. I really just want to get you set up as best you can in this kind of strange way of starting your new career path and education. So again, my name is Calvin. I am one of the career advisors. I used to be in your space. I was a student at George Brown, and I've worked here for a few years. And I am part of a great team. We are here to support you in anything in your career success. So hopefully you've attended or are going to attend our other career services info sessions. As you can see on top, I'm using PowerPoint 365 as it has live captioning. That way we can make sure you can read along as well. If for any reason you get booted out or anything like that, we are recording these, so you should be able to access it, or you message us anytime. All right, anyway, hopefully you're in the right spot. I wasn't in the first place. Here I am. We're just kind of doing a quick session here on looking for work. Mostly we're talking about kind of part-time work, student jobs, and what that might look like during this sort of time, and also what you might want to prepare for. I know many of you may be international, or you might be doing career changes, all these different things. So this is just to help get you thinking about how you should be looking for work. As you know, this COVID pandemic and crisis has really changed a lot of things, how we work, how we learn, how we communicate. We're still going through this and we'll learn. But I think it's good to acknowledge that we're aware that some things are great, some things are confusing, but we all can kind of do this together. Just as you are starting your online learning, we as a team at George Brown have also been learning to work completely remotely. So it's really changed the way we learn and we work. And we know we're going to be going through this at least till January, and then we'll see where we're at. Again, we have an entire team that in March, when the shutdown first happened in Toronto, we learned how to work 100% remotely. We are here to help you. We're all working Monday to Friday, and we have times, we have some extended hours now, because some of you may be in different time zones right now. But we just want to kind of acknowledge that things may be a bit different, and things are still changing. And it's really important while we go through this, while it can be confusing, to be resourceful, especially when you're looking for work. We need to think about, are you willing to work remotely? Are you comfortable in person? And if you are, what will those different safety measures be like? I have a friend who works in a restaurant, and there's so many safety measures in place, distancing, masks. So you want to be thinking about all these things that even currently right now, what opportunity might look for you now, just to kind of see where you fit with things. You know, and even during this crisis, like new opportunities and different opportunities are coming up as well. So hopefully we can get you some of that information as we go along. Things you want to think about when you are looking for work. You need to know yourself. Be aware of what skills you already bring. What do you want to do? What are your strengths and limitations? So that can be, you know, just knowing what you're really good at, because when you are looking for work, people want to know how you can help them. So you really want to know what your strengths are. You know, are you really good at communication? What type of work would you find interesting? You are students again, or you are new to being a student. Most of your programs, yes, they're online, but they are still full-time programs. And when you think of the nature of a full-time program, usually as a student, most roles or jobs are evening and weekends. You want to think about things like that, or what you're interested in. You know, would you be considering working just remotely, or maybe in retail? What kind of things could you see yourself doing? So really consider that, and just be thinking about that. Are you more comfortable in person, or like just remotely? I was meeting a student earlier and we had this same conversation regarding job search. So you want to think about where you're comfortable at. Again, when we get to the end, if you have questions about things, please send them or come to our Career Center. All right, so when you're looking for a job, there are certain things that you must have, or ways that things sort of work. And I just wanted to walk through a little bit of that. Again, you need to have a resume, and I'm going to say cover letter still, but you want to have a resume that is formatted the right way, that makes sense to the jobs you're applying for. Fortunately, we have our services to help you with that. So you could be booking an appointment with someone like me who's a career advisor. If you wanted help right away, we have our career coaches that you can meet in our drop-in services. We are 100% virtual. I think we're doing a pretty good job at this. So we are here to help you. So if you have a resume and you want to make sure it's formatted right for your job or for Canadian standards, please come look at our resources that we have, or come talk to one of us. Other things you need to know about how people apply for jobs. I am going to say that traditionally most jobs that you're looking for as a student are in-person contact. So that is, you know, walking into a restaurant or a store, making a good first impression, and just kind of say, you know, I'm looking for some work, I'm a student. Are you hiring? And they might say, yes, give me your resume, or you might talk to a manager. Now, the way that the world works right now, you know, there are still restaurants and retail places open. I mentioned before there may be different safety measures, but you got to see where you're comfortable with that. The other way you can apply for jobs is online, of course. So you could go to the company sites. Almost every single one has an application site. You're going to see what jobs are posted, and you're going to apply online. Again, perfect resume, perfect cover letter that matches the job. I still find that when I talk to most people, especially in these student type roles, they're finding most work in person or next on the line. Called job fairs, which are in person, or now they're virtual. We held a few over the summer. So job fairs are where the companies all kind of go together for an event, and then you would go around and meet all the employers you want and kind of have that mini first impression interview. These are great things. I can't see the chat, but Andrea, if you want to drop the link, on September 29th, there is one that we found on Eventbrite. Eventbrite's a great site to find out events going on in Toronto. And when I say events going on in Toronto, it could be virtual, like most things are. So keep that in mind when I say events, that's also online events. But job fairs are great, especially, you know, this one with about like a bunch of different employers. You might see some of the employers you like. It will also give you a good chance to practice your, you know, sort of interview professional skills by going to some of these events. So I strongly recommend that. We will also have employer events and career fairs over the next, you know, over your journey at George Brown that are put on by us at George Brown. This one's separate, but we just wanted to show you that there were these types of events still going on. And again, if you have any questions on any of this, you're going to reach out to one of us. Even if you have questions that aren't quite even related to career services, but you feel like you need somewhere to ask a question, you can always send us any of your questions. I understand what it's like, and we all do, what it's like to, one, navigate starting a new program, two, navigating a new program in this method. So I always say, if I don't have the answer, I will try to get to you. So just know that our team is here to help you navigate this and get you closer connected to other areas. Okay, so things to consider when you are looking for work. I have had students, and maybe some of you just moved here, so you don't know the geographical locations from your home to where work may be. But when you think about location, you want to make sure that it is easily accessible to you, so that you can be a reliable worker. I have had people who've taken jobs that lived in Mississauga and the job was in Scarborough, and that was, you know, an hour and a half or so of commuting. It was just really hard to manage school, commuting, and the job. So think about location. And when I think about location now, you could even be thinking remote. If you don't know Toronto, or even if you do, this is a big city. You know, we're the third largest city in between U.S. and America. I think fourth or fifth if you do all of North America. We're a big city, and you want to make sure that that works between your school, home, and program. I mentioned briefly at the beginning about scheduling. So you need to look at jobs that offer times that don't conflict with your work. I understand you may pick up a job that's shift work and things might change. Of course, school is your priority, but you don't want something that is consistently overshadowing your school work. It just won't work. You probably not do as good in school, and you won't be as successful in the job. I usually say most of the time with most of the programs you do, you're probably looking at evenings and weekends. Because that's, and usually from an employer's point of view, they understand that. I know some students who would take night shift jobs. I'm not going to recommend it because that means staying up all night and going to school the next day. But there are different types of shift work. You know, places like Starbucks open really early. So they're, you know, if you were comfortable with working in person and you want to work in a coffee shop, you could do a shift, you know, almost before school. That's a possibility. But really make sure it's a schedule that you commit to. Very important. If you have any related experience, it doesn't mean to be direct, but you know, more often than not, most student type jobs are some sort of retail or warehouse work or something like that. So communication skills, do you work well on a team? Those are all good things to bring. But if you do have some directly related experience, by all means, it's just going to make you more appealing to a company. And again, I speak a lot in person because we're used to that, but everything that I'm talking about still can relate to online. There's also people who work online customer service, online help desk for companies as well. And just want to mention before I move on here, you also want to consider pay. Again, you're a student again, most opportunities that you find are going to be around minimum wage. Which is $14 an hour in Toronto, or in Ontario. Keep that in mind. And oh, the captioning said $1,400 an hour. No, $14 an hour. I wish. Oh, it still says 1,400. Don't take the caption. Awesome. So just keep that in mind. You can find jobs that pay more, just depending on their timing or what you're doing. So it depends. You know, some people work even construction shifts. You're in a construction program. There's lots of different things out there. Okay, so I've moved on to how. On this slide, I mentioned that there's some online places you can apply. I would recommend going to GBCareers, as that's our career services job posting site. I'm sure Andrea is going to drop the link in, but also along with GBCareers having job postings, we post our events on there, and that's where you can book appointments with career advisors and career peer coaches. But that's a good first stop to see what's hiring. I know the question's probably going to come up after, are there any on-campus jobs right now? There are no like physical student on-campus jobs. There have been a few posted, but I would be recommending looking at the Student Association, checking online. More than likely, because of the way the way the world is right now, I would say most opportunities will not be on our campus. That being said, when you go into class, there are certain work study opportunities, or your professors or things might have some insight into areas that are hiring. We also hire students. We are not for this semester because we've already hired in, but after your second semester and you want to work as a career peer coach, we take time students and we work it around your schedule. There are also there's the Peer Connect community, which works on wellness. There's lots of different tutoring type jobs. So always keep your eyes out and always keep talking to people. You're going to find most of your opportunities through people you know. If you are new to the city and you're learning remotely, you're probably going to be talking to roommates, fellow students. Get to know each other and really try to help each other find opportunities. You're not competition with each other. If one of you succeeds, then they can help you succeed more. So talk to everyone. I mentioned teachers. Go by local stores and cafes if you're comfortable working in a store, things like that. There's also, the past few years, we've got this thing called gig work. And I think this is a really good way if you have a specific skill or you just want to work to your own schedule. There's places like Fiverr. So that's like a task site where maybe you're good at web design or graphic design or writing. You can set up a profile and people will pay you for just one gig. So you could set up a profile and then someone pays you to do something. So even while you're trying to find work, it might be worth setting something up like that. I put Uber Eats on here as well. I know many students have used them because they have food delivery for if you have a car, but also bicycle food delivery. So it's a good way to get some exercise too and make some cash. And there's even one called Rover. I don't have it on here. I signed up for it just because I love animals. But you just go and feed and walk pets when people are away. So if you like animals, that could be a great way to get some work opportunities. Put this last one on here. I really want to stress that you want to watch out for job scams. If you aren't sure, please message me or someone on our team saying, I'm not sure if this sounds good. Sometimes people do give cash in hand jobs, what we call on the table. That's not legal. So I'll leave it at that. There is ways of paying cash in hand for just one type of job, sort of like a subcontractor. If someone says your training is unpaid, that doesn't happen in Toronto. There might be like an hour or two maybe, but like if you're being asked to work several days without pay, I would question that. Again, please, if you're not sure, and maybe you're not even comfortable talking with a new employer first, come ask one of us and we can look into it. If any employer ever asks you for money, they are trying to scam you. They might say you need to buy a uniform, but they're not going to ask you for the money. Like you would just be buying a uniform for some catering companies and things like that. But there are scams and students have been taken advantage before for thousands of dollars. Don't do it. Again, the one that I always say, same as if you're looking for an apartment, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably isn't true. So if something says, wow, it's giving me this much money, if someone has offered to hire you without meeting you or talking to you, chances are it's not an authentic offer. Again, I've kind of mentioned a few of these things throughout. I just popped some logos up here just to get you thinking of some places, especially if you don't know the city. If you don't know the city that well, not sure what's out there, look online, go for your walks outside while it's still lovely. Come talk to us. Again, look on GBCareers. You can look on LinkedIn. I find LinkedIn a bit more for your career. But really think about the different industries that you might fit in as a student job. So, food industry, hospitality, retail. Some people like working in security. You have to get a security license for that, but a lot of times they'll be working as a concierge. Look at remote jobs. A lot of jobs are remote. Just check online or ask around. And the one that seems to keep changing every day is that there's lots of different job and employment programs that the government is funding. So you might find different types of opportunities. I recommend going to the Government of Canada website and just type in student opportunities, and they will post different programs. Someone sent me one, it's called Pivot 2020, that they're trying to hire up people for research, and it's funded through the government, so they're trying to encourage student hiring with employers through these programs. Again, these things seem to be changing every time when the government announces something new. When we know things, we will try to shoot it out on our social media, or at least let you know in our conversations. Awesome. So what do you got to do next? You want to come visit the Career Center online. I'm sure Andrea has put the link in or not. Please have your resume checked over, and if you want to know more about cover letters, by all means, go on to GBCareers. I would say check out Indeed and LinkedIn too, just to get an idea. And I would start making a list of companies or shops that you think would fit you, and have a list. And even if you're not sure what to do next, that's why we have a career services to help you out. Now, I'm looking at the chat here, and I want to, perfect, open up to questions. Again, I just put this up too. Please, if you have any questions, just shoot them out now. We've got about 7-8 minutes, so I'm happy to answer. All the links that we've put in the chat, please copy those, paste them somewhere so that you have those. You don't, I strongly at least post a link tree one, because that will get you to everything. I had a question. What are the rules associated with working remotely in your home country while learning online? Are you restricted to number of hours a week? So as we know it, if you are here working as an international student in person, you can work up to 20 hours a week. Again, a lot of this is changing a lot, so I strongly recommend checking with the International Center about work visa related things. I don't want to give you any misinformation, but the International Center will know how that works if you're still in your home country and working. I do know when you're in Canada, it would be 20 hours a week as an average over the year, except when you're on like reading breaks and holidays, then you can work more. But again, I would check the Government of Canada website, and I would be checking with International Center, because they are much more up to date on visa issues. So Amir, I hope that helps you with the answer-ish. Before COVID, what were the types of jobs offered on campus? Awesome, you got that. So what types of jobs were offered on campus? Again, so career peer coaches, peer connect wellness coaches, tutoring, peer leaders, working at Tim Hortons, work study. There's lots of different areas. We do have a tip sheet that has a list of the different areas to hire. Some of the students just work kind of at the gym as customer service on campus. There's lots of different student type roles that we do have. Once we start opening up, you'll see some more opportunities, or we might see some fine opportunities for tutoring and things like that. So always keep your eyes out. Oh, someone got everyone's name here. Hi, Adrian, Andrea, Calvin, and Maria. Thanks for your time. So Andrea, where can we get this recording session, please? So the recorded sessions we'll probably post out. I'm not sure where they're being housed yet, but you will get that information. And if you don't, Andrea, message us at the Career Center, and we will make sure that we get these recordings. Or if you have any questions and you want to talk in person, face to face, well, not in person, sorry, face to face via camera, we're all happy to chat. After COVID, where can we find you at GP? Once we're back to school, like once we're working on campus, we have 3 dedicated Career Center campuses, one at Waterfront, one at St. James campus, and one at Casa Loma. You are welcome to come to any of them, but right now we're all virtual and you can access us anywhere. Awesome. And hopefully, Andrea, that helped you there. Any other questions? Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. Again, I know this is the beginning of your program again. I'm sure I'm going to put my camera back on. I'm sure a lot of you were feeling a bit confused, overwhelmed, sure. I get that. Just know that we are all here to help you. Even if you don't remember kind of anything we said except click that link to get to us, we will do whatever we can to support you. I can only understand all the thoughts that must be going through your head starting your brand new school remotely. I strongly encourage you to still try and get connected to your community. Somehow connect with your students, find ways to feel engaged. Once you get to know some people more, even if it's like this, you will, it'll feel better, you know. So thank you again for coming. We really appreciate you taking the time just to get to know us and letting us giving you this information. And please come connect with us anytime through those ways you see on the screen. You want to take a picture of that, you can see what our services are. I recommend following our Instagram. We do like kind of weekly Instagram live chats where we just sort of do something similar to this with a Q&A. We've got webinars that'll come up. You'll probably see some of us do workshops virtually in your class. And then if you need questions, help with resumes right away, we've got our drop-ins Monday to Friday, 10 to 3. You literally join our Career Center virtually, and they'll get you set up with a coach right away. Awesome. I'm trying to give you eye contact here. So thank you, everyone. Good luck, and whatever sessions you have, I hope you enjoy those as well. All the best. Thank you.